What's going on, y'all? Another day back in the markets. My name is Christian Moon. This is the Christian Trading Table. Welcome. We are looking at NAS 100 with our small account, and it is Wednesday, August 27th. I'm not going to be spending too much time on the market, so let's just see what we got. I hope y'all are doing good. I've been making some posts about expanding the community and taking small one-on-ones, just finding a way to actually, teach some stuff for you guys in your beginning stages if you have questions or anything like that. So as far as the market is concerned today, moving on to that, I'm seeing a lot of indecision today. Also moving from yesterday, we had a late breakout on Tuesday, the 26th. It could be a similar thing today. I don't know. We're pretty much trying to see what market will do. I have some hope or some prediction that it could come back in this range down here. If it doesn't, it just shoots out of this bigger range. Prices have been ranging for about 3 days or so. So it could immediately break out right now, or it could come back for another retest before it breaks out. That's just my prediction. It looks like it may break out now. We'll see. Okay, y'all. So as you can see, we waited. We sort of fooled around for a little bit. Price decided to start heading back to that zone I was talking about. Right now we're pushing through the first demand zone. If you're having a hard time trying to see what it is, it's this one right here. This is the first demand zone right here. And then the second one is down here. I'm thinking price is gonna stop sort of where this golden line is. It most definitely touch the golden line and then push past it just a little bit, but I just wanted the price to show some more strength before we revealed what was going on with price. But we're doing good. This is a 6.5 to 1 based off of where our stop is. It's regular supply and demand. We're gonna see how it goes. Nothing too crazy right now. Push through this first one and try to touch down to this second one, and then gain more strength for the upward move. That's my thought. So as you can see, price did exactly what we thought it was going to do, and then some. I want to take the time, since I'm out of the trade now, we see that price basically shot past our little line here, our little trend line. We weren't measuring trend line, honestly. I'm going to show you pretty much what I was looking at. So to break this down for a second, we may prepare to get into a buy. We're just waiting to see how price reacts to this high time frame trend line, this green high time frame trend line here. I'm sorry. Let's make this simple for the people that are just starting out. This green line is a trend line on the high time frame, and I want to see how price reacts in this area to see if we're ready for a buy, moving higher later in the week. But I think this is an important area. I think price was just coming back down here to retest it, and we seem to be right. We got 2 minutes left on this candle. I'm gonna wait and see. We're gonna wait for a demand zone. We're gonna wait to see an order block. But I'll show you what I was looking at and why I drew this box here. Let's start off with the main strategy. So let's be quick. On the 4-hour time frame, real quick, we're on NAS. Let's shut this off real quick. It's the order block indicator. On the 4-hour time frame, we got this easy to see trend green channel going on right here. we're around this area at the bottom we were just looking at. On the 1 hour, we got a shot out of this. We were on the 1 hour, we were coming out last week, we were coming out of our trend channel, and we shot back in with a lot of power, and we came back to retest it, got back under, looked like it was going back down, but quickly turned around and came back in. So I started to notice it's doing like a support and resistance here, support and resistance here. So I just made a rectangle around this area here. Sort of hard to see. I'll make it darker. So I made a rectangle here, not really bouncing out. The reason I did that is as we go into the 15, I've seen a lot of bounces. We got one, came up again, 1, 2, 3, and it was this last one. And I said, price looks like it's gonna come back. So now let me show you why I thought it would come back to this area specifically. So looking at the channel of this movement over the last 2 days, we had this upward trend. Tuesday something happened, the market and shot up to 23,500. We just went ahead and put our trend line here. On our trend line, on our trend channel, we've got a middle line, a go to middle line of 50%. We've got a upper line of 25% and a lower line of 75%. Those numbers might be reversed, but basically we got 25, 50, and 75. So this shows a margin of where supply might be and where demand might be. I just color coded it differently. It doesn't really make a difference if they could be the same color. This is basically the strategy. What I'm looking for in this channel, if we're in an uptrend, I'm looking for demand zones, and I'm looking for, with our indicator, MTF, S&D order block. This is showing us order blocks, demand zones, and supply zones. Closer to our lower 25% down here, we're looking for green order blocks. We're looking for demand zones. We're looking for entries for buy. And then on the upper end, if we're looking at a downtrend such as this, actually, let's pick a better one that I've actually used pretty much like all last week when I didn't record. On the upper end, like up here above our line or near our line, we're looking for red order blocks or supply zones. I say red order blocks using this indicator up here, the MTF S&D order block by JP7FX. If you're interested in getting that, check our last video out where I explain these indicators and why we're using them. Practicing this strategy, I've seen consistency. We just made some money on the strategy today. It pretty much is a supply and demand slash trend line strategy, something like that, I would say. The EMAs just kind of double confirm whether we're uptrend or downtrend. I don't actively use them other than as a quick peep, but pretty much that is the base strategy. That is the basis of our supply and demand trend line strategy. What I was noticing with these specific indicators, this specific strategy, I'm always a person that like notices patterns, notices like different nuances, things like that. And I noticed something as I was kind of skimming through the time frames using this MTF S&D order block indicator. And I want to show y'all why I signaled this specific area. Anybody else would have like noticed it using whatever. Let's just call it the order block indicator, right? For short. What I noticed happening, I'm just trying to find it, was I was scrolling through, and I noticed that I would have these moments where I'd get like a supply indication and then a demand indication, like back to back, or it'd be like a supply and then a few candles later, or like 15 candles later, and it would create this ranging zone. And what I noticed was that maybe like 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, there would be some significant movement away from this zone, and price would return back to this zone. And I was like, this could be a move because it's showing some consistency, it's showing some pattern. So when I was looking at this setup, I was like, I'm studying it, and I was like, well, roughly between the open of that one and the close of this one, price always comes back to the midline, and then it shoots off away from there after it retests. Which direction it goes, I think that more so depends on the greater trend. But I noticed that when I saw this, for example, like these two down here, this is just an example. We've got a bigger bullish order block, and then we have a bearish one. Price was bouncing between these ranges, and what it did was, I haven't noticed any consistencies with this yet, but I'm still trying to like accurately define it. But price never got below this order block right here. It never got below it. Between these two ranging zones, it shot past this one, came back to retest the mid zone. And if we wanted to do like this sort of movement, we could have, right? We could have put it right at the midline and then put it below the order block. That is the main question I have now, is like, with this approach, what could I do from here? So that's when I think I'm looking at the bigger time frame. But this is just a hypothetical. This is just a theory right now. Nonetheless, I did have a strong assumption that price would come back to this area, as it has consistently done. I'm just waiting to see how I want to respond to it now. So that is why I made this move. And as we go back with everything else on our thing, one second. And as we go back with everything else on our thing, I was seeing price pushing up on this zone we had, this bigger rectangle, and it was touching this zone. I said, I think price is going to shoot down and want to come back to this, let's call it an imbalance. I think prices want to come back to this imbalance. I don't know what to call it. I just noticed the pattern. And then try to make a move from here. On a greater time frame, I think it's moving up. But again, I'm going to wait a little bit for some greater confirmation. Maybe on like the hour or 15. Probably the 15 and 5, honestly. Because if it starts showing some strength on the 15 and the 5 time frame, yeah, I think that's a move to make. Even right now, it's showing something, but I'm not going to be quick to jump into it. That's just what I did today. I made a move down to this zone. We're going to look at what it could do after. But so far, it's a good day. We're going to look at it. I'm just waiting for it to show some, like, foundation. I think that's what I'm looking for.